This is a video chart presentation of NVTL Wireless Inc. NVTL trades on the NASDAQ Global Markets under the ticker NVTL. This chart caught my eye because it's in a pretty solid channel through here. I scaled this into a 6-month chart to try and get a better look at the channel. NVTL's had a pretty good fall this year. I believe this was around $10 to kick off 2011. Suffered a substantial fall, held around the $5-6 area. Then back here in the beginning of August, fell apart again. 4 pretty decent days in a row. That's not really that important to me. We'll come back in a moment to the channel and we'll talk about that. Now we are seeing some pretty decent change in trend right here. MACD's trending upward. PPO ADX pinch pretty tight. Something that you always look for. But I get a little bit skeptical from the PPO ADX pinch standpoint that if you don't see a nice bounce off of it, once the pinch tightens, it begins to lose some of its validity and some of its reliability. So that's not really in effect for me anymore because the bounce hasn't happened. Money flow index, all sitting pretty nice. All three holding in bullish chart territory. Decent uptrend to them since the last price per share fall happened. Accumulation distribution, kind of in a sideways channel as well. A little bit of an uptrend to it right through here. Nothing too spectacular. Just kind of moving right along with the price per share at this point. Shaking money flow has moved its way back up into the green, showing buying pressure is there in this play. CCI also trying to trend upward. And the full stow showing some momentum trying to come into this play. All the indicators I'm looking at right here are kind of neutral. They are teetering towards the bullish side of things, so that's something to keep an eye on with the play. Trick's down pretty low, but is starting to trend towards zero very early on. But at least to some degree, it is moving in a bullish direction. RSIs also showing some momentum trying to come into this. Flattening out, though, as soon as they kind of get near that critical 50 point. So again, some momentum in the play according to the RSI, but not super strong. What I think is interesting about this is even with the bottom support all the way down here at 310, certainly see it being stronger up here around $3.20. And then the upper side of this channel coming in around 350 with a little bit more of a top end up around 360. But point being, right here around 350, right where the price is now, closed at 347, it's got itself in a pretty nice 10% channel. And there are technical traders that will play that channel. They'll play the buy point down here on the support, watch it closely at the resistance point, maybe take their 10% scalp, and then rinse and repeat, so to speak. This does have a little bit of a liquidity issue. You can see only 240,000 shares traded. I haven't even taken a look at the share structure of NVTL. I'm just going to guess that it doesn't have a whole lot of shares out there, as it doesn't seem to trade with a ton of volume every day. Can pick up, that's certainly something you look for. If this is going to try and break out one way or the other, I'll look for those volume bars to pick up and show some strength. But I think it's interesting that it's sitting up here in the upper part of this channel right now, and I'll be looking for some sort of movement to close above that level. Conversely, if it breaks down, see volume come up, there's not a lot of support in sight. Of course, there is the bottom support at 310, but I'd be much more leery if this is going to suffer a larger fall if it falls through that bottom support. But you see we've got the Bollinger Bands that have pulled back together, gapped huge, of course, with this drop. But now they've pulled back together, channeling sideways. Shorter-term moving averages are tucked right in there with the play. It's one worth keeping an eye on at this point, see if it's going to take this channel out or not. I don't suspect that the channel will continue for a whole lot longer, as this one's been going on now for about 6 weeks or so. But all in all, a pretty interesting chart. One to follow along with from a technical standpoint to see what happens if it breaks through the top or breaks through the bottom. And much like if it breaks through the bottom, if it breaks through the top, there's not a lot of resistance in sight. There will surely be a little bit right here around 365, which is probably about a 7% upside. But then there's not much left. There's a gap still left to be filled here, up to about $3.65 or so. But actual static resistance doesn't pick up again until around 480. Now, as always, this is just a technical look. I don't have any idea fundamentally what's gone on with NVTL and what caused the drop earlier on in the year, or this one recently. Just taking a look at this channel. It's one I'm going to keep an eye on here in the future and see where this chart goes. But as always, it's merely my interpretation of the NVTL chart. Thank you for watching and trade smart.